to Saturday Nitro Gang Live. Let me give you guys a couple minutes here to show up in the stream, and then we will start talking. All right, so today, Saturday night, tomorrow, Sunday morning. And what happens on Sunday morning is usually I put on a sickening t-shirt like this, make a little bit of a pot of a coffee. By a little bit, I mean 4 cups and then drink 1 cup. Then I go hit the RC track. But the question is, what am I going to take? Every day I go to the RC track there in Staten Island, New York. The question is, what will I take? And the decision has been made, everybody, that I need to take this T-maxx. Now, last time I ran it, for some reason, it almost survived. But we're going to make it great again. But let me give you guys all a couple minutes here to show up in the stream. I don't want to start too early. Don't want to start too late. We want to start on time. Just like the 2-speed shift point in our nitros. All right. We got Terra Curry here in the stream. A big fan of T-maxxes. He himself has revived a T-maxx with an awesome 2.5R engine and the OS 11K carburetor. And he said it's a massive improvement. In fact, I'm thinking we need to go OS carb on this bad boy. Now, I have a couple of parts here that I'm holding. And I think these are the parts I will have to replace. Now, hopefully, we don't have to replace more than this because then I'm going to have to drive something else. Now, we got Lotus 420, Benjamin Martinez here, Dodger Boy, how you doing? RC, Terra Curry, Boosted RC, Robert Munoz, how you doing? I'm going to say hello to the rest of you guys as you show up here in the stream. Don't want to take too much time in just, chit-chatting. Things have to get done. So today, as you might have known, it was my father's birthday, okay? I had to go to a nice little hibachi steakhouse, okay? They cooked a fried egg in front of me, okay? I ate some eggs, I ate some chicken, I ate some vegetables, and that is why, right now, it's a little later than normal for the streams. Normally, I like to start about 8:30. Now, if you know how to tell what time it is past 8:30. But that's okay. Time matters only when you are designing a watch. I was actually watching a documentary last night on the very first watchmakers and how they used watchmaker technology to make the first automatons. You guys ever heard of automatons? They're very popular in the 17th and 18th century, basically to emulate human motion. One of the most famous automatons is a swan that emulates eating fish out of running water. Basically all clockwork technology. All right, guys? So I want you to know I'm interested in a lot more than just RC, but of course, RC gets most of the time in the brain. All right, we got ourselves Earl Moorhead here in the stream. He goes, it's 5:49 in California. I am early. Sickening. I got to go check out Earl Moorhead's video. I got the notification, guys. If you don't know, he makes great videos as well, okay? Australiano RC, what's going on? We got Mark Messenger here with us. That's right, that's why Earl is always late to the stream, because he's 3 hours earlier in Californian time, okay? You know, they only start to eat In-N-Out burgers at like 6 p.m. Am I correct? At In-N-Out, they peeled the potatoes by 6 p.m. By the time you're there, it's already late, right? You know what? There's no nitro here. What is going on? We need to put something here in the background. We're going to figure it out. To give you guys a little bit of an update, I'm going to save this for a couple minutes from now. All right? This is the Trinity Reflex ENT from yesterday. I have had some successful work done to it so far. I have removed the battery from the bottom, cleaned all of that up, and I've been able to find my on-road air filter. Check out this air filter. That is an air filter that you want. These are actually the same air filters that people run on like the 8-scale pan cars. The one time I ran into, I forgot, it was a Serpent Vector. This was the air filter that they ran from A-Main as well. These Mugen MT-12 engines, basically use the same size carbs as, well, not the carb itself, but, you know, for the air filter, as their larger 8-scale compadres. The engine is not installed yet. The engine is loose as a goose, as they like to say. I actually don't like that term. Loose as a goose is a pretty bad sounding term. Please don't anybody here ever say it. But more on this to come. Got the radio tray all out. As you can see, the wires are hanging. It's going to be made great again. That Nitro Bug, how you doing, man? Happy to see you here as well. Now, tomorrow is Nitro Sunday. I'm going to have to run this T-maxx. Now, to bring you all up to speed, this is the T-maxx Tony special. Now, I would bring back the T-maxx Tony, but the thing is, the YouTube world and some of the audience members are not ready for some of the sickening humor. They are not ready for the Ric Flair of RC. They call people trannies. The only tranny we got is the 2-speed baby in the T-maxx. Now, I know it looks a little dirty on the bottom. I actually washed the body because I take a lot of pride in presenting my RCs in awesome condition, all right? I don't like to leave them dirty when I don't have to. So, Texas Hell, how you doing? Terra Curry goes, we need to fire it up. I promise, I will go outside, piss my neighbors off, and fire this up for the chat right here, okay? That's what's gonna go down. Australian RC goes, Ric Flair of RC. Love that humor. Unfortunately, man, here in America, people just not ready to have a good, positive time. They're always looking to cut a brother down. They're looking to make your life bad. But I've been here on this channel trying to make this hobby, particularly the Nitro world, great and greater than it's ever been, and that will never stop. But if I'm going to run into some of those negative Nancys out there, you know what? Why give them the chance to put us down? I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to steer clear of the negativity. All right? Now, if that means some of the creativity has to suffer, sometimes the greater good is what you got to do. The greater good is what you need. All right? Anyway, let me see who we got here. Once again, that crazy RC guy, how you doing? Welcome back from the UK. We got John Hensley here goes, is that the T-maxx with the piston on the front bumper? Yes, it used to be, but it fell off. It used to be. Fell off. So I'm going to do a little bit of repairs on it, guys. I know for sure there's like a bunch of stuff that snapped already. In fact, I recorded this video like about a week ago, so, you know, you'll see the bash eventually. Now, I completed the video. Didn't really notice that anything was wrong. But what's going on there, Oscar Aquendo, bro? I am sorry for not showing up to the bash today. I had a bit of a busy day. It was my dad's birthday, you know. I just got home a little bit ago. That's why the stream is a little late. I was invited to an awesome RC bash with Oscar Aquendo today. We're going to have to make that up. It's going to go down. They're going to see your nitros, all right? So it's going to happen. But we do have the typical T-maxx problems. Front suspension arm. I mean, you can't really see it here, but you could see I'm basically twisting it. It's not supposed to twist in this manner. Our hinge pin has broken. I hope nothing else here is broken. Hopefully the front bulkhead support is not bad. So let's take the body shell off. We'll take a look at it. I'm also quite sure the throttle servo is trash. But I've had this T-maxx for a very, very long time. This is my most reliable T-maxx. And you know, out of, I would say, all the RC brands out there, Traxxas gets the most haters and also the most fans. It's one of those, it's like a Walmart. You all know that going to Walmart is probably somehow bad for the environment or economy, but we all do it. But in this case, buying a T-maxx is good for everybody. So technically, it's not like Walmart at all. Okay? Forget Walmart. Walmart, I got nothing else to say about it. Like, you know, let's put it this way. If you don't go to Walmart, you're going to go somewhere else. You know, like when people in government pretend that Walmart is bad, but yet they're the ones owning these companies that import and ship things all over the world to the Walmart so you buy it. Okay? It's the same thing. You can't get away from it. It's capitalism, you know what I mean? It's legit capitalism. Everything behind me is a result of pure capitalism. None of it is a result of communism. 0% of it. Okay, Stolen FPV, how you doing, man? He goes, great Raminator video today. I appreciate that. Part Donkey, how you doing? That Silver Stacker, how you doing? Go Sickening T-maxx. Yes, this is the T-maxx Tony special. Ric Flair edition. Okay. Yes, Dodger Boy goes, I got to Walmart because I love saving money. So do I. You know, as a customer, at the end of the day, we're going to shop anywhere that gives us the best deal. No matter what policy you have, no matter if Al Gore will never be vice president. In fact, I hope maybe one day he will be. All right? Maybe he will save this country. Who the hell knows? All right, we got A2RC. How you doing, man? That's right. RC goes, popularity creates haters. That is just the reality. I did want to say, earlier I was thinking about Traxxas as a brand for the last, let's say, 30 years. 30 years. Really, any negativity that you might want to say, go ahead, guys. I'll address some of the negativity. Just play devil's advocate. Play devil's advocate for me, please. And tell me some of the negative aspects of a Traxxas. And I'll do my best to give you realistic, truthful answers, right? Just play devil's advocates. I know here everybody's smart, so not everybody will say, yes, they're suck, they're crap, they're trash. No, because that's not true. They're good for what they are. But go ahead, play devil's advocate, and we will address it like real grown-up men, all right? Some of us, Ric Flair style men, okay? Now, Donald Truck, I appreciate it. He goes, high prices. So I'll address the first popular criticism of Traxxas. High prices. It depends how you look at it. You know, I'm only really going to talk about Traxxas models. So when this T-maxxes basically were popular, they were about $350 20 years ago. You know, now, what did they go up, like $130? It's basically not even the level of inflation. So technically, if you look at just the Nitro prices, I'm not referring to T-maxxes. I mean to X-maxxes. Don't care about them at all. If I cared any less about X-maxxes, it would be like making an omelet and then saving the shell. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? If you make an omelet and you save the shell, then you probably don't care about T-maxxes. Don't save the shell is what I'm saying. Throw the shell out. Do not eat the shell. All right? Eat the inside of the egg. All right? So, first criticism, parts are expensive. So, new suspension arms. These are not new. These are like ones that I've had before. I'm quite confident I'm going to have to replace both of these. But just so you know, new suspension arms, front and lower, per side, $6 or $6.99. So honestly, that argument is already blown out of the water. Parts are cheap. They're readily available. And you can get cheaper RPM parts as well. You know, so that's just the reality. John Hensley here with a good comment. He goes, the original 15 T-maxx was a little bit of a dog. It wasn't the fastest. So the original T-maxx did top out at like 29 miles an hour. That was it. But the thing is, 29 miles an hour for a Nitro is actually quite fast. Because if you think about it, the very first HPI Baja 5B, it hit 28 miles an hour. Okay? And that was an over $1,000 gas sandrail. 28 miles an hour. So you got to really put speed into perspective. Because then you will have a rational argument. If you say things like Traxxas sucks because they suck because I feel like it because Walmart sucks, and then you're going to still go shop at Target, you understand Walmart and Target ordered the same stuff from the same suppliers. It's all literally the same supply chain. All right? Anyways, enough badgering. We're going to continue, everybody. All aspects, RC, how you doing, brother? Happy to see you here. He goes, the original T-maxx was very durable. It was very durable. Compared to other cars during the time period, it was very durable. That's a reality, actually, you know, because like think about it. At that time, even hubs on like RC10 GTs, low C XXX NTs, they weren't even like standard hubs. You had the wheel fit onto a pin, so you had proprietary wheels. It was annoying. Traxxas brand, everything was basically 12mm hubs at the time. Then they switched to 14. So you really. Honestly, there's no argument to be made about Traxxas being shit. There really isn't any argument. I can basically destroy any argument anybody here can make, even if you wanted to, you know? Yeah. Let us continue. I'm going to take the body off. We'll take a look at it. I will tell you, I bashed this thing pretty hard. There is a video of it. I don't know where I put it. For some reason, cannot log into my freaking Instagram online. So I guess that's done. When the video comes out, you'll see I did like a shit ton of jumps on it. We're talking like maybe 20. I did a couple cartwheels. Eventually, it let itself down. But it was a matter of time. But the good thing is, repairs are cheap. And honestly, a little bit enjoyable. All right. So, let's get down to business. I hope I have all the parts. I have a hinge pin. I'm pretty much suspecting the hinge pin is destroyed as well. But who knows? Maybe it isn't. But most likely it is. So let's get down to business, guys. Thank you all for joining me here today. Wasn't going to do this stream, but it is Nitro weekend. It's Memorial Day. And tomorrow, I have to go hit the RC track because Monday it is raining. All right, so I did a lot of sickening jumps. I think Tara Curry saw a couple of them. And in fact, damn, where's my other videos that I did on it? I loaded it somewhere, but I forgot where. Either way, when it comes out, okay? And I promise we will go fire this thing up after the repairs. In fact, I could like probably go fire it up right now, but I'm not going to. All right, so let's get down to business. I'm going to lower the camera, guys. Thank you all for being here once again. Let's make this Nitro great again. Everybody, put your hands together. And let me just say, let's hope Traxxas never kills their Nitros. But let's also hope that they at least release another engine for us. Not that in the world the 3.3 is okay. But I feel like if they did a big block, it would be extremely fantastic. All right, because they got a lot of RPM out of the 3.3. It's a monumental engine design for the mid-2000s, right? Monumental. Okay, Shooter W, what's going on? He goes, let's pray for the Nitro gods. I did that yesterday a little bit. I did it today. And I encourage all of us to keep doing it, all right? But also, keep telling Traxxas to release something better for us. But not that it's bad. But you understand, we've been with these T-maxx engines, the 3.3s, for basically going on to 20 years now. I feel like it's about time, okay? I don't want to badger to them. But it's about time to make something greater than it used to be. Now, yes, they do sell a big block conversion kit for these trucks. They're like super cheap, actually. And you can fit a basic big block on the Revo. I'm not sure if you can on the T-maxx. There is no big block conversion kit for the T-maxx. You have to get like a vintage one. But on the Revo, they do sell them, okay? Let us continue. All right, so I'm going to lower this a little bit. And we'll take a look at the chassis. This body's been through a lot, by the way. It's literally been through a crap of a lot. So, it's pretty dirty. As you can see, I wiped some of it. It's cleaner than it used to be. This is not the one that I did the drill pipe mod. The one that I did the drill pipe mod is still alive. It's kicking. Actually, the drill pipe mod did a great job on creating a little more bottom end. I did notice maybe the engine ran a little bit warmer with the drill pipe mod, but this one does not have it. So let's check out what the problem is. Well, the problem is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna lift the front. What we got over here is a suspension arm that has come out of its comfort zone, as to say. Come out of its comfort zone. What's up, Grizzly RC, man? I see you right there. Been a member for 30 months. Oh my God, man. Happy to know that you're still a member and that you believe in the cause, okay? Thank you for believing in the cause. Thank you for being a channel member. You guys rock. You're the rock gang, okay? Rock gang. So, yes, it's literally come out of its comfort zone, as so to say. Now, we're going to start disassembling it. The bottom one also looks like it's come out of its comfort zone. It's real bad. It broke off from the hinge pin. I think the bottom hinge pin is okay. So basically, we got to replace all of this, right? So let's get to work. Not really the end of the world type of repair, because like I said, these parts are really, really cheap. And if I didn't have like the parts to begin with, I more than likely would just have gotten RPM. Right? RPM is like 12 bucks. Let me see what we got. John over here. John Hensley said something. Let me read this comment. It appears it has a lot of support here from the gang. He goes, these companies need to compete for our business. We need Nitro. It's sad how many gems are discontinued, but they won't be forgotten. Traxxas parts and availability is great. Totally agree, man. Totally agree. What's great about Traxxas is, unlike Kyosho, they don't discontinue parts after you know, an 8-month run, right? They're always basically in stock. In fact, they still sell the original Pro 15 engine. Like, where are you gonna find that? You know, think about, let's put it in perspective, HPI. Does HPI still sell the 15FE? The answer is no, they don't. Okay, they only sell one small block engine, and it's the T3.0 and the G3.0. It's the same engine, basically. Oh, that Nitro Bug, been a member for 7 months. I appreciate it, bro. Always happy to see you here, and know that you are holding it down overseas for all of us. All right, but tell Traxxas to do us all a favor, okay? Cut it out with these damn Wide Max kits they got for the X Max. Let me tell you something about a Wide Max. This is a Wide Max, all right? It's actually, the term Wide Max came out with the first 2.5. So you know how today, guys, we have like the Wide Max suspension kits for like the electric Haas, the X Max, whatever. Basically, you pay a ton of money for those like molded orange suspension arms or whatever they are. That's the Wide Max. But all of that existed, and it was actually introduced for the T-maxx and E-maxx. You remember the very first Pro 15s, they were narrow. Then they came out with the Wide Max models. So that was like kind of the 2.5 generation. It was called the Wide Max. So, you know what? I hate to say it. Actually, no, I love to say it. Nitros did it first. Okay, go ahead. I said it. Nitros did it first. It's a fact. All right? Go impart that knowledge on the Wide Max gang. They won't even know what you're talking about, you know? Tell them 2004, when the T-maxx with the Wide Max suspension came out, you will understand who you're talking to. Oh, we got Bob's RC. How you doing, man? Happy to see you here. All right, so let us continue. And I got to disassemble this whole front end. Actually, this pivot ball suspension is a little bit complicated. Well, I don't want to say complicated, but it's not like a C-hub suspension. It's a gift and a curse type of thing. Gift and a curse, as they like to say on Monk. Anybody here watch that show, Monk? It's a pretty good show. All right, so let's start removing suspension components. I'm going to rearrange this. Thank you guys for being here, supporting this channel, supporting this hobby. And when someone makes some irrational claims, I want you to ask them to back themselves up. All right? Go ahead. I'm going to look at the chat here. Make some more irrational claims. I'll be happy to fire back at them. I'm a fan through and through. Traxxas, just so you know, doesn't pay me. They don't send me anything. But we love the nitros they make, no matter what. Sure, they're not big blocks, but they still got what it takes to run with the modern electrics to a degree. Oh, Earl Moorhead goes, I worked on Monk for 9 seasons. Dude, Tony Shalhoub. Give him a handshake when you see him for me, all right? Looking for my tools. Hold on a second. Oh, it's right here. All right. We're safe. All right. Thought I lost my my driver's set. That would have been pretty bad. All right, let's get down to business over here. We're gonna go with the classic top-down view. Thank you guys for being here. If you haven't given it a thumbs up, please do that. I don't ask for much. But Tony Shalhoub wants you to do it. All right, we got the lights going on strong. So first thing first, right? What's up, RC Cape Cod? How are you, man? Pharaoh's RC Car, how are you? I do remember you. Happy to see you here. So the question is from Pharaoh's RC Car. Can you make a video on how to put the Fortec 3.3 clutch assembly? All right, I'm happy you asked that. So there's really nothing unique with the Fortec clutch assembly. It's just really the same thing as any Traxxas. This engine has the same exact clutch assembly. All of these Traxxas models have the same clutch assembly. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, we got to get to these suspension arms. Because obviously, as you could tell, it is totally killed over here. Fort Donkey here with an awesome comment. He goes, somebody petition for Traxxas to build a four-wheel drive JATO with good brakes. Man, that is a great comment. You are not the first one to want that. And I'm sure you will not be the last. But the reality is, I was thinking about, four-wheel drive JATO. It wouldn't be a JATO anymore, right? Like, I understand we all want a four-wheel drive JATO, but the JATO chassis, I just don't think it can incorporate four-wheel drive. It's a dust boot, basically, for the pivot ball. So these things are a little bit squirrely to work on. I'll admit that. Well, not squirrely, but precision actually matters. Unlike a C-hub suspension here, you have to kind of know where you started. And I hope the arms I have are exactly the same arms. They look like they're the same arms. I'm going to put them over here for what I plan to install. And once again, thank you guys for joining me here. It means a lot to me. Today I was out all day. Well, not all day, most of the day for, it was my father's birthday. But I'm here working on nitros as expected. All right, good comment here from Oscar Quendo. He goes, Traxxas fuel, angry faces. Yep, that is one issue. Their fuel sucks. But the thing is, oh, please let this be the right tool. Okay, we got the right tool, so. Yeah, there's like a pivot nut over here. Like a big nut, you gotta remove this nut. The thing is with the Traxxas fuel, right? It's designed with very high oil content for beginners. So I could see that. So, when we run like proper VP fuel in the Traxxas Nitros, they always seem to run, well, not as they're tuned for out of the box, I will say. That's something important to kind of to notice. Well, you know what? I didn't really have to remove these parts. I could just twist the nut itself out. Not the nut. It's called I forgot the actual term. I could just twist it out. But I had a little bit of an issue with this one where it was like moving out, so I'm gonna have to reseal it. So I'm twisting out the suspension arm pivot ball. It's called a pivot ball. And it'll all come out together in like one assembly, basically. This whole arm. It's actually a quite beefy suspension. Often a guy wants to know how much wider is this one compared to the 4907. So I do have a 4907. It's a little bit stacked up there on my shelves, but it's about 1.5 to 2 inches wider. It's a significant amount wider. Maybe in the stream towards the end, if I have a little bit of time, man, I'll pull out the 4907 T-maxx for you, okay? But yeah, they were very narrow. But back then, the race segments were generally, they called them 10th scale truck, which were like two-wheel drive, Team Low-Cs, and like Triple XNT, stuff like that. So compared to that, a monster truck, even like the 4907 T-maxx, would have seemed pretty wide. But by modern standards, of course, it's not at all. It's a joke. It'll be a flip fest in every turn today. Anthony Commit, how you doing, man? Happy to see you here. Hardy boy, what's going on? All right. So this is out. I really didn't have to remove that, but I had to reseat the top part. Pivot ball seems to be fairly smooth. No issues. I could remove the pivot ball over there, but there's like a dust-proof cover over there, right? Yeah. But we'll get to it in a little bit. It's pretty easy. Another thing to notice, guys, everything is captured here. No nuts at the bottom, and the plastic quality is actually not terrible. Let me get my drivers. It really does take a lot to destroy one of these suspension arms. I was bashing it pretty good, and I think a couple jumps I did were just not very good. But you'll see it in the video. If you want to see the type of jump that killed it, it'll be in a video. This isn't the world's most complicated repair, so don't let me tell you, it is. It's not. But it's a worthwhile thing. When you got to do it, you got to do it. And eventually, all of us will have to do this on a T-maxx. It's just one of those things. All right, so let's take out. Yeah, I see my the half shaft here. The part is kind of bad. We're gonna have to replace these parts. It looks like it's a little bit on the broken part right here, the half shaft. It's no big deal. I'm just gonna slide it out because we're not replacing. Really, actually, we don't even have to replace this. It's bad anyway. I'm just gonna keep it. Yeah, there's no need to slide this out. It's pretty much broken anyway. So right there. I mean, honestly, it still moves fairly free, even after like a whole bunch of dirt from a clay field, right? Secondhand RC, what's going on, man? Happy to see you here. Eric Madrid goes, how come the new T-maxx doesn't come with 17mm hexes? Good point down there. I'm hoping maybe when they upgrade these, yeah, they come with 14mm hexes. These are 14s. But you know, I'll tell you, man, I have never had a problem stripping gear hubs. So like, you know, I mean, I guess we could be rational and be like, hey, as long as, I mean, the wheel hub, as long as the wheel hub doesn't strip, there's really no reason to run 17s other than like, okay, 17mm hubs will help you with like wheel adaptability. That is also a true statement. Oh, we got Dodger Boy here in the stream. I see him right here in the comments. The king of emojis. Sickening emojis. I don't know how he does that on his phone or computer or whatever, but give it up to him. Give it up to him. Stands up for himself. He fights the evil forces, and he is one with the emojis. All right. So we're gonna, this one is basically loose. It appears my hinge pin right there has completely left the building. Yeah, it looks like it has completely left the building. Let's see how I'm gonna remove this. We're gonna have to take these shocks out as well. Yeah, the shocks have to come off. Oh man, is it me or it looks like the shock shaft is halfway bent? Not halfway, but maybe a third bent. I see like a 5-degree bend in here, maybe. Whatever, we'll reuse it. It still looks like it's okay. I checked the stroke of the suspension. It does seem okay. How you doing there, Manny Guns? I'm going to read your comment. Pretty good comment. I appreciate that. Manny Guns says, I added the 17mm hubs, made it wider and better wheel selection. Yes. Yeah, with the 17mm hubs, you can get them on Amazon for like under 20 bucks, right? Not even like Traxxas brands. There's so many models that like they sell. There's parts availability is very good for Traxxas. So you could easily get them for pretty cheap. Yeah, John Hensley, this model is the 3.3 version. It's honestly the same size as a Savage. In case, you know, the thing is, I believe a lot of people really give the T-maxx series a lot of slack because they're kind of thinking of the old Pro 15 models. You know, the 3.3 chassis is nowhere close to the Pro 15. It's literally nowhere close. It is night and day different. All right. Big Mike, how are you, man? Oh, we got ourselves a Nitro Addiction. Sorry I didn't give you a little shout out there before, bro, but happy to see you here. I've been participating in your streams lately, too. Happy to see you here as well. So for those of us just joining, I'm working on this T-maxx. The goal is to run it tomorrow. I actually ran this a while ago. Bashed it pretty hard. But it you know, nothing crazy broke is what I'll say. You know, or rather expensive. I mean, expensive. And for those of you, if you care, if you happen to have missed the video on this Trinity yesterday, I'm gonna present you with a little Trinity. There it goes. Trinity Reflex ENT. So that's the Nitro Gang deal of the week. Just picked this up for the channel. Cleaning out the chassis, going to install a receiver. You know, go over the electronics. This thing is pretty solid, actually. So this is this week's top level purchase. All right. All factory woven carbon fiber, 4mm chassis. This thing is a beautiful car. But for every Trinity, there's also a T-maxx that needs a hinge pin, as they say. Now, a popular upgrade would have been, what's up, Al Casa 52, man? Happy Memorial Day weekend to you too, and everyone else here in the stream. A popular upgrade for these trucks would have been titanium hinge pins. Because yes, the hinge pins, they do, well, mine has sheared and left the building right there. You see, I'm like pulling it out right there. Mine has basically left the chat, as people like to say. It has gone where no hinge pin should go. It sheared itself off. As you could tell, I'm going to show you up close a regular hinge pin and the sheared off hinge pin. It's missing the part that it should screw in. So it sheared itself off. The good thing is I just randomly happen to have one, right? And honestly, I really don't do a lot of T-maxx repairs. They're pretty solid. These hinge pins are super cheap. Like if they break, like whatever, you know, it's literally not even a big deal. Okay, so we got one out. Gonna get these shocks out. That's basically it, guys. Like that's how easy it is to remove a suspension arm. It's really one of the easiest trucks to work on, and they are what's known as modular, meaning the front suspension arms are the same as the rear, but only the top there. But there do happen to be two of them, right? So this will be the bottom suspension arm in my left hand. This will be the upper suspension arm, sometimes called A-arms. Okay, so this one is a toast one. If you want to get some real serious ones, just get RPM. I probably should have ordered RPM, but because my plan is to run this thing tomorrow, cannot be ordering RPM and waiting for like 3 days. Let's check the rest of it. Okay, steering linkage looks okay. Yeah, steering linkage looks okay. These models have a built-in servo saver under the chassis, so it's pretty reliable. I see you guys are discussing the dual shocks, right? Let me read this from Australian RRC as I work on it. I appreciate your questions. They are rational, they are smart, and they are important. Why do some Nitros have double suspension units as opposed to a single bigger suspension unit? I hope it's not a dumb question. It's a good question, Australian RRC, bro. It's a good question. I appreciate that question. Gives me something to talk about as well, right? Not like I miss things to talk about, but you know, sometimes. So basically, you really don't need dual shocks. It was kind of like a thing that the T-maxx trucks had when they were released. Everyone thought more shocks was better. If you guys watched today's video on Ben's Primal MT, you know, he bought that Primal MT and a prior owner installed dual shocks on it. Let me tell you something about dual shocks. That thing had the world's roughest, worst suspension. It barely even moved. It had basically a crazy amount of sprung weight at that point. Or is the right term unsprung weight? Whatever the term is. It had a lot of weight. All right, let's remove the front hinge pin. But the reality is you really don't need dual shocks. Like, think about it. The newer generation Savage XL, and here's a little bit of knowledge, right? That you get over years. You get this over years of experience in the hobby. Something that only people love would really remember, right? The original Savages all had dual shocks, but guess what? When the last generation of the Savage 4.6 came out, and even the current generation, oh man, let's hope I don't have to clean this with something that's going to require cutting it. The modern generations have big bore single shocks on the Savages, and guess what? It's perfectly fine. So there's really, the thing is, I think the original T-maxxes probably had dual shocks because at that time, bending shock shafts was very prevalent. It was super prevalent, and it still is. But what you really want is big bore shocks. Correct there, Offman guy. What you really want is big bore shocks. You want to go big bore. Schunder W goes 5 shock power Thunder EK4. Well, man, you are on the money. What is that over there? That appears to be an EK4, doesn't it? Well, I think it is. Actually, I know it is. All right, so let's get back to the T-maxx over here. I don't want to go off into the shadows with other models. You know, when you talk about a T-maxx, you want to give it its respect. Marlo 213, what's up, man? Happy to see you here. Hope you had a great week, and that goes to all of you. There's a bunch of dirt in this hinge pin on the bottom. So I'm just trying to remove this bottom hinge pin. I hope you guys have a good view. Woogie Nitro, what's going on? I saw you were running some sickening nitros. I got to check out your new video with Texas Hill today. The on-road nitros. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Woogie Nitro's channel, he ran some awesome on-road nitros today. So give him a sub. He deserves it. He's been in this hobby for probably longer than I have. I'm not sure how long. It's not like I talked to him about how long, but I'm quite sure it's probably longer than me, which is fine. All right. So, guys, go to Woogie Nitro's channel. Just look him up. You'll see him. It'll be obvious. He's the guy with all Nitro videos, basically. Well, like, I'm also that guy, but he's the guy before me. Okay. All right. So we got to remove this. Okay. Hinge pin is out. Hinge pin is out. We got ejection. The good news is it's not bent. The good news is, guys, hinge pin, legit not bent. What's up there, Bob's RC? That's good news. Because I really only had one hinge pin. Now let me check. Is the top hinge pin the same length? No. So both hinge pins are a little bit of a different length. I'm going to hold them together like that. Yeah. So the top hinge pin, you can see it on the top. The top one is about half a centimeter longer in each direction. No, in one direction. When we talk inside each direction, it's a dumb statement. Yeah, about a half a centimeter longer, the top one. But, you know, worst case scenario, you could like trim one. But make sure I don't put the wrong hinge pin in, guys, okay? All right, so we got that. It appears pretty straight. Let's remove the bottom suspension arm. Boom. It popped out. Easy as that, baby. Easy. Yeah, so this, destroyed itself. It's pretty common. These are pretty much weak failure points. I mean, I would say, in my opinion, it's better to have a suspension arm fail that's cheap than to have something else fail. You know, not everything needs aluminum. You know, some people put on aluminum parts, and then guess what? They would have broken their bulkhead over here. Now, the bulkhead, if you ever break this bulkhead, this is the bulkhead, this gray part, for those of us that might not know. This gray part is the entire bulkhead. The bulkhead is what holds the differential in place, right? Make sure you get RPM. Don't play around. Don't call nobody. Go and order RPM, okay? Don't even ask the Nitro gang, because they will tell you get RPM. Now, for me, I happen to have had these parts. So I don't need RPM at this point because I just happen to have had them. Let me clean this up a little bit. Don't like to work on dirty stuff, right? But this does have to hit the RC track tomorrow. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day to burn some Nitro. Monday, we have bad storm going down. Not going to be a good day to burn anything other than an electric RC magazine. Let me check the shock. Okay, so the shock, yes, it is. It's a little bit bent. I could see the shock shaft is bent slightly. But there's still plenty of oil. I can tell it has not leaked out. So, I mean, this is like, I don't know. But if you ask me, this is kind of interesting because Arma shocks, even not bent, the oil leaks out. You know? And here, oil don't even leak out when it's bent. Freaking sickening. Let me clean this up a little bit. But you could see the color transfer on the shock body. Yeah, that's because it's bent, basically, also. The best shocks to get for these would be the Traxxas big bore shocks, but they're also expensive for a reason. But they are fantastic. And a very popular upgrade for these would have been the titanium nitride coated shock shafts. Yeah, this is a little crooked. I could probably just bend it back right now. What do you guys want me to do? You want me to bend it back? Make it great again? Bend it? I could bend it back. I could try. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not like it's going to be... to be honest with you, I should have had a little bit more preload. I didn't have enough preload. I did 3D print some preload somewhere over here. I'll find it. Yeah, right here. So check this out, everybody. I know my channel moderator, Lotus420, recently also picked up a 3D printer. Bob's RC goes, bend it like Beckham. It's a soccer reference for those of us that don't know. I did 3D print some... preload. The ones that I 3D printed, you could tell what they look like because these are the ones with like that textured surface. These are 3D printed, all of these. They're pretty great quality, actually. And they fit real well. So 3D printed, Traxxas style preload. I would say it's a little bit harder to compress than like a regular one, but it's still pretty good. Right? I'm going to use these after a little while. But check it out. If I just snap it on, Boom. There you go. Preload, baby. 3D printed it. It's a little bit bigger than normal, but like with the spring pressing on it, it'll be fine. You know, it'll be fine. So let us continue. I'm gonna clean this shock too. I should have had preload on this shock. You notice I had preload on this one, didn't have it on this one. That's a little bit who knows? Maybe it wouldn't have bottomed out and broken. But hey, you can't blame the Sunday quarterbacks, you know? I don't even like football, so I definitely can't blame them. Guys, thank you for showing up here in the stream. I wasn't going to do one today. iFly65, what's up, brother? I appreciated your comments today from the videos. I understand sometimes I don't get a chance to reply, but I want you to know I see them all. I see them all. Uh-oh. Where is the spring retainer? Oh, no, I got it. Okay, I got the spring retainer. Let me clean this one. The shock body, too. But, yeah, these shocks legit don't leak. I think I only put oil in them one time when I got this T-maxx, like probably 5 years ago. You know? All right, let me check the compression. Yeah, this one is not very good, but it's still movable. It's still normal. There's definitely some oil in there, but it doesn't really retract as much anymore. And it's definitely also a little bit bent. So, what do we say? What do we say, my dudes? Should we bend this shock shaft? You could see if I rotate it. You could see it's literally rotating on an axis. Right? It's literally, if you plotted this on an XY scatter chart, this would be all over the x-axis. Okay? Yep, all over the x-axis. Clean this up in the front. And I'm going to try to assemble some of these parts now. You don't really need to clean this much. It's going to get dirty anyway, so it's not like it matters. So what do we say? If you want me to bend the shock back, I'll give it a little shot. I'll give it a shock, so to say. I'll give it a shot. But guys, are you enjoying this T-maxx live stream repair or not? Or should I just bail right now? I mean, I do want to bring content that is interesting, things that motivate people to repair, to make their own nitros great again. If it's not really supported, then what am I really doing? What am I really doing? Well, I still got to run it, so. Okay. All right. Yeah, all of these parts move pretty good. Actually, this turnbuckle is relatively heavy duty, I would say. All right, Hardy Boy goes bend it back. All right. Let's try it. It's not as difficult to bend it. I'm gonna try to do it without taking the shock off. Or what do you guys want me to do? You want me to take the shock off or something? That's right. Tara Curry here with a great comment. Goes, every repair is interesting. I appreciate that, man. RR Tree, how you doing? Happy Saturday, Nitro, man. And tomorrow, I'm gonna have to run this. So let me give you guys a little bit of a better view. I'm gonna bend it back a little bit. It doesn't need that much work. Sluggos RC, how are you? Don't know if you've been here on the channel previously, but if you haven't, welcome. All right, so we're going to take this. I'm just going to bend this one back because I could see it's pointing that direction to the right. I'm going to turn it this way. Just going to do a little bit of a bend job. All right, it seems to be bent like in this section. Just need like halfway, it'll be okay. 1, 2, 3, Nitro gang. Dude, that was mad easy. Okay, I'm gonna move it now. Just slowly. We'll take an observation. It's a little straighter. I wouldn't say it's 100% straighter. Should I do more? I mean, it goes in. It didn't go in before. It's never gonna compress that far. Should I stop, or you guys want me to bend it back more? Yeah, these shock shafts are pretty soft. Yeah, I'm moving right here. It's better than it was. It's pretty soft. I will say these shafts are pretty soft. Yeah, I'm going to stop right now. I would say bend back about 50% of it. Relatively okay. I don't want to score them. So the thing is, if you score them, it'll wind up eating away at the O-rings on the inside. It won't be that good. So, yeah, rings goes let it be. We're going to let it be. All right, let's get back to assembly, the assembly line process. First, I want to check the bearings. All right, the bearing seems, I don't hear any grinding. Yeah, the bearing seems pretty good. The diff seems pretty good. So it's pretty great. This is just the old RTR T-maxx. This was probably, judging by the fact, I could tell that we have a kind of on its way out Traxxas 2018 servo, which is trash. A 2018 servo. This is probably the very first 3.3 model, I would say. Probably the very first 3.3. Yeah. All right, so we're going to continue now. Let's install the hinge pins and do what I came here to do. You know what? I'm going to put the sickening Trinity right in the front for a little good luck, for a good luck charm. Just hope nothing breaks, but he'll be fine. All right, right in front of this T-maxx, I'm going to have the Trinity with the Nova engine, Nova Rossi engine. Overlooking, we have an inspector on field, guys. Inspector's on the field site. All right, we got a site safety team. Anybody here know about site safety managers? SSM, SSR, CSQ. All that stuff is expensive. All right, so the two broken parts, we already know. Here it is. It broke basically where you would expect it to break at the hinge pins, right? Which basically, yeah, Dodger board goes, it's OSHA approved. I hope so, man. I hope so. I took the 10-hour class, and then I took it again. John Henson wants to know, is it a 2-speed? Yes. All T-maxxes are a 2-speed. They're all 2 speeds. This one as well. It's fairly reliable, this one, actually. It hits all the time. Never fails. Where's my suspension arm that I was just holding? Okay, right here. Yeah, this one's real dirty. As you could tell, my replacement... Oh, shit, this is the bad one. What am I talking about? Okay. This is the new one. Well, by new, I mean it's also used. This one also had a hard life. Okay, just looking over. We got over 100 viewers here. Thank you guys for being vigilant and participating. I just noticed my replacement suspension arm. I hope this is not going to be an obstacle. I hope this is not going to be an obstacle. The new one is on the left side. The old one is on the right side. Anybody notice any differences? I'm going to hold them up. So, pin to pin. Hinge pin to hinge pin. Let's just always make sure that they're literally the same. Okay, so the length is basically the same. The length is the same. We have the 4 screws. I notice one difference. Anybody notice any differences? Yeah, Dodger Boy, we are 100 plus viewers, and it's only going to go up. You know why? Because this channel is not full of jerks. That's why. Anybody notice any problem here? I notice a problem. Boosted RC goes, send it. I would, but I already did actually. So I already sent it. I sent it so far, and now we have a broken suspension arm. So the question is, what's different here? I noticed this might be from a different version T-maxx. Notice the recess over here. This is recessed a little bit. This is recessed. This is more of a flat design. Pretty sure this is from a different model T-maxx 3.3. I'm pretty sure. Let's hope it fits. It should fit. Otherwise, it looks to be similar, right? But you can clearly see the old arm I took off has a recess right here. And the new one is just a flat X. Interesting. Anybody ever come across that one? I'm not sure what model T-maxx that's from. Interesting. Well, I'm going to try to put it on. If I can't, then I'm going to have to go buy something. Let me check this. This shock actually needs a little bit of oil. So I'm going to have to remove this shock, I think. The shock on the right, I'm not too happy with it. So first of all, I'm going to bend it back as well. going to have to bend this one back too. I bent it a little bit. Yeah, it's much better. Yeah, but it doesn't really retract at all, so we're going to need a little bit of shock oil in this one. Let me take off this shock while I have access to it on this side. Actually, pretty easy to work on these trucks. Leo Watson, what's up, brother? Happy to see you here on Saturday. Nitro Gang Live. So, yeah, once it's already removed, this is probably the best time to work on shocks. Well, not probably, but it's in reality the best time. Okay, I got to do this slow. It's not really that perfect access here. All right, a couple more turns. Shock should be loose. Old school, how you doing, bro? All right. So we got the shock out. I'll get that part later. Actually, no, I'm going to get it now because I don't want to forget where it went. Okay. All right. So the shock itself, yeah, it doesn't rebound at all. A2RC wants to know, do I have a spare shock? I do, but there's really nothing wrong with this one. I'll just fix it. It's not that bad. You know, it's fixable. I don't need this truck to have all new parts. This is like my daily go-to truck. You know, T-maxx Tony Classic. It's my daily go-to truck. It really doesn't leak. Like when I took it off, the shock, right, there was no oil at the bottom. So like the shock shaft was fairly clean anyway. And I pretty much fixed most of it. It's pretty straight now. These shocks do have like really soft metal. So it's pretty much to be expected. Let's see, we need some shock oil now. I'm going to put in just a little bit to top it off. I don't really care about the type of oil. I feel like this is already a little bit on the tough side. Thick side, rather. Not tough side. Thick. The word is thick. So we're going to put in this Team Low C 30 weight. Just probably a couple drops. Really, I do like 40 weight. 40 is kind of my favorite. But let's see if I can twist it off. Oh, beast hands, bro. Beast. You see that? Twist it off. Beast hands. That deserves some praise, everybody. Let's hope the rubber diaphragm seal is there. Yep, it's there. It's literally clean inside that shock oil cap. This is clean. No leaks. You can see the threads. No oil on them. Pretty normal. Yeah, our archery goes, I do the 50. 50 is pretty good. I have 50 as well. All right, so good thing is this is not damaged. Yeah, it's missing a little bit of shock oil, but it's nothing like that bad. I've seen way worse. So I'm going to put a couple drops in there. We don't need like a crazy amount. You see, it's almost at the top. It's pretty clear, the oil as well. A little bit of grime in there, but it's fine. As long as it doesn't leak, I'm okay with that. I don't need it to be 100% good. Well, I should be adequate. Got some on the cap. Not good right there. You're really supposed to put this in the cap first, but since I'm holding it with one hand, I don't have access to like my other hand. I have to kind of do this for now. It'll seat itself when I screw it in, though. I could always look at it. Oh, John Hensley, bro, thank you for that channel donation. I appreciate it. I'm still paying off that Trinity over there in the background. It's going to take a while. Thank you, bro, John Hensley. All right. I want to take this off. You know what? Just got RC Cape Cod. See you later, man. Let me take this off to see if it seated itself. Yeah, there it goes. It's on top. It seated itself. It's perfect. I'm going to put it back in. A little bit of a hint. Now, I know there's a lot of you know, ideas on 100% perfect shock assembly. And they're correct. Those ideas are correct. But this is a basher truck. It's not like, you know, a performance vehicle. It just needs to be good enough. So I'm gonna tighten it now. Even like hand tight is fine. Okay, that's perfect. I don't see any oil leaks. It's good to go. All right. Let's check the rebound. Much better. I see a little bit of rebound. You guys see that? I'm gonna rebound it fully. I mean, compress it, and it rebounds okay. That's basically what you want. You want that kind of rebound. That means the internal diaphragm there, the rubber seal is working properly, and there's no like obvious signs of air bubbles. Yeah. There you go. Rinks goes. I race spec slash. I got those shocks down. So man, tell me what you think of my well work. You know, I'm not telling everyone to do this. This is not really a tutorial. You're watching me make this truck drivable. That's what it is, right? I'm not here to lecture. I'm giving you a process. Well, people, and I'm really not giving you anything. It's just entertainment, really. This method works. It's reliable. It's solid, and it's inexpensive. On a basher truck, there's really no need to swap out all the diff oil. I mean, all the shock oil. It's just not necessary. All right, so the shock is built. Let me clean up some of this, and we will continue, guys. And the goal, we're going to fire this up once it's all complete, okay? Who's going to yell fire in the Nitro Gang hole? I'm going to have to delegate it to somebody. Yeah, rings goes... that's good enough for that truck. Exactly. That's all I'm looking. I'm only looking for good enough. Either way, it'll balance out because I'm not going to do the other shock. You know what I mean? Australian RRC yelled it. Fire in the hole. Sickening. RR3, good question. I appreciate your comment, guys. I don't mind answering questions, looking at the chat, working on trucks. I have enough brain power to do both. Or triple work. If you want, I could probably tune up your Honda as well. But the question is right now, best bash truck, Savage or T-maxx? The thing is, the Savage has more low-end power. It definitely has more low-end power. It'll get to the top speed faster, but in the Savage, you're going to waste a lot more nitro fuel. Also, parts availability, a bit of a challenge on a Savage, sometimes. Who knows? What if Traxxas just discontinues them going forward? We don't know. Let me see which model. It's in the middle. Okay. It's in the middle right here. We have a couple holes here for the shock mount. The T-maxx, especially like this 3.3, it doesn't have as much power unless you kind of run it on the lean side. It is, after all, a small block, right? So you would expect that. Savage, yes, it's overall speed-wise will be similar. But you know, and you guys also chime in, right? I'm not the only one whose opinion matters here. So you guys chime in. A best bash truck overall. But you really have to be fair. You have to think of part support. You have to think of cost. You have to think of fuel consumption. You have to think of speed, durability, power. The Savage does have the T-maxx beat in many spots. But the T-maxx also has the Savage beat in many spots as well. So don't forget that. You know? So big block versus small block, yes, massive variance there. But Hardy Boy here, once again, T-maxx has a lot more spare parts. Like in this case, you know, you bash hard, just come back, bend the super soft metal back, you know, well, whatever. It's not great, I know that. Gypsy Jones, how you doing? He goes, Max does have the weaker drive shafts. That is also partially true, yes. But these beefy 3.3 ones, I mean, these are beef level, man. You know, the 2.5s, they were weaker. Yes, the 2.5s have different control. This is a driver, right? Like a regular driver. It's, I mean, weaker or not, this is literally the thickness of my tool, you know, the drive shaft. It's not trash, is what I'm saying. And these joints are pretty beefy. These are Revo spec drive shafts, right, on the 3.3. So they're not like 2.5 level stuff. All right, 2.5 is a totally different truck. I will admit that. All right, Benjamin Martinez goes Savage all the way as far as strength and plastics. Yes, Traxxas availability with part support is also amazing. All good points. All good points. All right, let's assemble it back. Need to finish this up. because I already promised people are gonna try to fire this up, right? Okay. On the inside, I hope that this is actually the right part. That's what I hope. Oh, putting it in the wrong spot. Hold on a second. What's going on over here? Why are we having a problem? Hold on a second. Let me just match these up. Okay, they're the same. All right. Let me flip this. Am I having a problem over here? Oh yeah, I see it all. Stick it in the wrong spot. What a troll. Okay. That's what happens when you act like a troll. You get trolled by your own nitro. All right, this hinge pin, bulkhead rather, this bulkhead might need to be replaced in the future too. It doesn't look to be in good shape as well. All right, so on the bottom one, I think it was the shorter one, right? You guys remember if I took the shorter one, it was probably the bottom one. So we're just going to slide this in. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of grease on it. Give me a second. Guys, thank you for being here. Sorry for this view. You know, I don't like to have the truck all the time on camera, but I got to see what I'm doing. So I do like to put myself in the videos as well. I got nothing to hide. Don't have acne all over my face. So, you know, it's all good. Track power gear grease. Pretty good grease. Not a bad idea to put a little bit there. So the drive shaft, the hinge pin just slides in a little smoother, right? Sickening. Yeah, rings goes. I don't know if that arm is going to work. You know, I hope it does. I'm going to assemble it now. I hope it works. I'll pretty much know right away. I mean, it looks like it's about good. I mean, I just positioned it. It looks like it's going to work. I could spin the drive shaft almost freely. So, Rinks, I appreciate your concern. You might be, I hope you're not correct. Okay? I love when you're correct, bro, but I hope you're not correct in this case. Let's slide the hinge pin here in the front. Hopefully I can get it in the hole correctly right away. Oh, yeah, that's going in. Hopefully this, okay, it's in. It's in the first spot. All right. Let's turn it in. I hope it does fit. Yeah, it looks like there's plenty clearance, actually. So I don't know what the difference with these suspension arms are. Interesting. Let's slide this in. It should turn in. I might still be a little bit off. Okay, it's going in. It's going in. We got a hole-in-one. And I don't mean golf. All right, the hinge pin is going in smooth. A little top tip. It's in. All right. Let me move the arm. Oh, yeah. It's a mover. We got a mover. So it would sit like this. This part would turn in. Yeah, we have plenty of clearance, actually. Right? We good? Guys, we good? We got plenty of clearance. I'm pretty happy. I'm going to wipe this so dirt doesn't get attracted to it. Man, and that's working on a T-maxx for you. Things just work. They just work. All right. Time to go to this Trinity. Things just do their job. Okay. All right. We got a nitro hole-in-one is what we got. All right. So the bottom is okay. What I'll do now, we're going to put in the shocks. Oh, you know what I did? I should have compressed the shock shaft first. Damn. Hold on a second. I fumbled over here a little. I got the shock shaft in the... Basically, when I assembled it, it pushed itself in. a little bit right there. I can fix that though. Okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. Oh, sorry about that. All right. The shock shaft is out. There we go. Yeah, so it moves pretty freely. Nothing funny going on. Oh, man. This also made me sweat a little bit. Yeah, pretty easy to work on. Give me a second right here. I just have to do a little bit of administrative duties. I am only a one-man repair gang. All right. All right, administrative duties have been completed. Sickening. All right. Yeah, pretty easy to work on. I mean, it's a pretty up there repair, really. Well, it depends how you look at it. I don't want to make you guys think I'm saying this is difficult. It's not difficult, but you know, if you've done it once or twice, it's no big deal. All right, let's assemble the shock shafts back. Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're good, we're good. But the order of how you do things is fairly important. We still have to install the upper shaft. If the viewers in here, please, would consider giving this a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. If you don't, tell me what you don't like, because we can discuss it. We can talk about it. I'm a person of, you know, allowing people to voice their opinions. All right, so this one had a preload on it. The one in the back, the big one. So we'll install this. Perfect. Shock has been cleaned for the most part. And I'll install the retainer. The shock retainer. Spring retainer. It's physically called spring retainer. Also be careful with these. They sometimes do pop out and you'll have to buy like a whole shock repair kit. Yeah. That's it. It's a mover. Smooth. This one, we're going to put in a 3D printed one. All right, because I actually don't think I had enough preload. Holy moly. There we go. That's a 3D printed one. You could tell by the texture on it. All right, it's pretty good. Once it settles down, it'll have a good amount of power holding itself in there. Well, not power, but tension, rather. Tension. Tension is the right word. Spring preload. I mean, shock retainer. All right. Good. It's smooth. You see that? 3D printed parts to the rescue on the T-maxx. 3D printed clips. Nothing I buy for this channel is a waste of money, so you guys know. Nothing. Nothing. None of this is for show. None of this is to encourage channel growth. The channel grows as it grows. It grows organically like broccoli. All right? When was the last time you had some organicism channel growth? Never. Okay? All right, now we're going to install the upper suspension arm. Very important. If you install the shock first, you won't be able to get it through, right? So you got to install this first. Very important to have organic growth. Pesticide-free channel gang. All right, this one is, it looks like a direct fit. There we go. Easy, man. Freaking like butter. Butter, man. Like Butterbean. You guys remember that wrestler? Butterbean. I see we're missing a very crucial piece right now. It's a very crucial piece. Anyone want to tell me what crucial piece we're missing? That should go into here to make sure that the part doesn't wobble. What's Hobbies RC, man? How you doing? He goes, I feel like I'm running a printer farm. I got 3 printers going, 5 printers. We're missing a little clip that fell out. It's a plastic clip. It should have been on the suspension arm to prevent it from moving back and forth. You know what? It might have fallen out. So the hinge pin looks pretty good. This one, it's pretty straight. The little bushing, yes. Let me see if it fell on the table. Oh, thank God, I found it. This is it. This is it. Yeah, this is what was missing. So this basically goes in between. I'll show you guys right here with the new suspension arm. What happens is there's a lot of loose space. Nitro Power 2025, how are you, man? Everything outdoor and more. What's up, Nitro fam, to you as well. Thank you for joining. We're working on this T-maxx after a massive bash. A bash attack, so to say. This will go in here, and it would slide and create a little bit of slack so the suspension arm doesn't move too much laterally on the pin. That's the goal. Without this, you're going to have a lot of wobble. Like a lot of wobble. Very important if you guys miss these little items, you know? Very important. And it goes in the front. The bottom one doesn't need it. Very important that you notice the bottom one doesn't need... it's very, very solid. It doesn't move laterally. It's called a spacer. Right. Yeah, Australian RC goes, Butterbean could have been a great boxer if they let him. Oh, that's true, man. I've watched like a lot of his old fights. All right, so let's begin inserting it. The spacer is going to go in the front. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Oh, shit, I actually need 2 spacers. Oh, I need 2 spacers. Yeah, we need 2. I wonder if the second one is on. Let me go look for a second spacer. There has to be 2. That's some trouble right there. It might have fallen out when the arm broke. That's probably what happened. We need 2 spacers. Sickening. Spacer job. Let me switch over to this view a little, my dudes. I need to go look for another spacer. We need 2 spacers. If you don't put the spacer in, like I said, this suspension arm is going to have a lateral side-to-side movement. And basically, your truck will drive crooked all the time. Let me go look at some of my parts. What's up, KGM? How you doing, man? Got some parts over here. Let me take a look. All right. Well, I found buggy spacers. I don't know if these are going to work for a T-maxx. They're not the same shaft size. Whatever, you guys don't need to see this. These are not the same shaft size. Found buggy spacers. Let me go get my Traxxas toolbox. I'll be right back, all right? Hello? Where you going? What's up, Sandy? Well, I'm back. Had to change my shirt, guys. Sorry for this look over here, but it's hot in here. It's hot in here. Okay, what do you want me to do about it? All right. I got my Traxxas toolbox. Let's take a little bit of a deep dive. All right. Get ready, deep dive. We're gonna dive deep. I hope I have the part I need in here. I'm looking for a little spacer like this, basically. That's what I'm looking for. That goes on the hinge pin. So put this in your memory, and let's look for it in this Traxxas toolbox. If we don't have it, I'm gonna have to 3D print something, I think. If it's gonna be anywhere, it might be here. Well, so far, no cigar. Let me zoom in over here. It might be in this area. If not, I'll take it off from some other Traxxas. You know, no reason we can't use a shock spacer. It's probably going to be the same profile. I'm going to keep this on the side. We might be able to get away with a shock spacer. All right, there's nothing in there. Let me open it up now. Well, let's dig in. It could be in here. Everybody, open up your eyes. Open up them eyes, as they say. I do have like spare. These shocks are not for this truck. It's like I think these are nitro slash shocks. So far, no cigar. I don't see why I can't just use a shock spacer. I mean, not a spacer, but more like a piston, a shock piston. Can't believe it. I don't have those little parts. Anybody notice anything? Gypsy Jones goes fuel tubing. Fuel tubing is too soft. This needs to be like a piece of plastic. That's the situation. It literally needs to be the spacer. Man, I could have sworn I had it. I don't see it. Oh, man. You know, there's really no reason you can't, like, use a nut or something like that. It doesn't matter. It could just be anything non-compressible. But it wouldn't hurt to have the right part. I might snip a piece of this off. All right, I'm going to close this up. All right. We're going to continue. I'm going to see if what I do will work. So basically the logic is, yeah, our archery goes a few washers. It's possible. What I'm going to do, let me just test something out. I think I might have just saved something right here. I think it might work. Basically, this is the spacer that we're talking about, right? You guys see the spacer? I need another one just like this. If this is the same, yep, boom, baby. Boom. It's perfect. I'm going to use that. Check this out. This is a shock piston. Or this might not be a piston. It might be some kind of spacer from something else. Anyways, it's going to work. They're both the same width, basically, right? More or less. We agree? All right, we agree. That's called ingenuity. That's called Nitro Gang innovation. That deserves a round of applause. in my opinion. You know? That deserves a round of applause. Boom. All right. I'm gonna start installing the upper suspension arm. I mean, that's some innovative stuff going on. I mean, you know, if you install it without these, your arm, I'm gonna show you. Well, I'm not gonna really show you that, but I'm just gonna put it in and shut up. Okay, here we go. So we need to install this first. It will clip on. At the end, we'll try to slide. It's not going to be easy. That's the problem. It will not be easy. Damn it. I need to remove... I think I need to remove this to install the hinge pin. Yeah, I need to remove this front bracket, bumper bracket. Okay, we got to remove the front bumper bracket now. Sickening. It will work. I need to remove this because it's getting in the way of the hinge pin. Oh, that's a long ass screw over there. That is a long screw. Yeah, John Hensley goes, that's called problem solving. Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure it'll work. It's going to be a little tough to position because, like, the way those pins work, they just clip on. That's why you need that pin. It's not really called a pin. It's called a spacer. You need it to just clip on. You know what? I have some parts over here. Maybe this has some parts. Damn. I thought this had it. No. These are just regular. I think these are Savage links. So throttle link, these are shotguns. Not even show that as spacers. Yeah, shock retainers. But we don't have those little clips in here in this tree. Sickening. Well, it's just going to delay what I'm doing, basically. That's all that's going to happen. Rings, I saw. WeRC posted a swap meet. I'm going to be there. I'll be there. Not that early, okay? Because I like to sleep in on my days off. But I'll be there. Hope to see you, man. All right. We've removed these parts. All right, I should have no problem sliding it in now. Let's do a little slide job. All right, so first what we'll do this. I'm going to do this. And this has to, like, be removed a little more. Okay, yeah, we could do this. I'll do this. All right, let me give you a little bit of a better view what I'm doing. It's a little bit of a monotonous task. All right, so the hinge pin. Come on, get in there. I got rid of my oil. I should have kept the oil. Pop this SOB in there. All right. All right, it's in. All right, hinge pin is in. And now I'm going to pull it out a little bit, and we'll insert the spacer. This is what I'm doing right here, everybody, by the way. Okay, so you see that? How much extra space there is? This is what we're trying to eradicate. It's all about the eradication. Okay, you got to eradicate some stuff sometimes in life. So this is actually pretty easy because this spacer will just pop in. You know, I probably should have put in the other spacer here and then installed that. Okay, it's popped in. So the spacer is in there, everybody. Check that out. Spacer is in. So now, when we slide it forward, you see it's taking up a lot of the slack. But we still have slack. You see that slack right there? How I'm easily able to move the arm? That's what we're trying to eradicate. All right? It's like cockroach elimination. except eradication. Guys, if I could please ask for a little bit of a thumbs up support over here, that really helped me out. I see we have a lot of viewers. Looks like people not appreciating this T-maxx repair. Don't know why. It's a great truck. Sickening truck. All right. The goal is now going to be to slide the other part in at the back. That's going to be difficult. I'm going to give you guys a backwards view over here because this is not a freaking clip. I need that clip. You see right here how we have a lot of lateral movement on the pin, on the suspension arm? That's the problem. We don't want lateral movement. Cody Sims, love the T-maxx, man. Thank you. All right. Sickening. So I'm going to try to get in there, but it's going to be tough. I don't know if I can get this in correctly, to be honest with you. Oh, sick. I think I just got a commercial. I wonder who pays for my own commercials on my own channel. It must be. I'm not sure. Because by that logic, you could just watch your own commercials and make money. By the way, don't do that. If you do that, you'll lose your channel. Like a lot. All right. I see it coming out here. I think I went a little too far. Need to retract. We need a little retraction. I'm going to retract it. I went too far in. I'm not going to be able to slide this in now. All right. I have to go back. All right. That should be... So the goal is to fill this gap in there. It's not going to be easy, guys. This is real monotonous work over here. Real monotonous. But if you don't do this correctly, your suspension arm going to wobble. It's going to wobble like this the whole time. All right? You don't want that. Does it move freely? Yeah, it moves freely. All right. The only way I know how to do this well is with like a plier. Basically get this in there. There might not be enough space to do it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to compress this shock and get it out of the way for now. Yeah, all right. I got this shock out of the way. We have a little more space to work with. Actually, that did nothing. I'm going to do another idea. I'm going to remove some of the... I'm going to turn the shock the other way. All right. It's almost there. Let me do a couple more turns over here. All right. Boom, there we go. Cleared up some space. Let's get that spacer in there. It's gonna be hairy, I'm gonna tell you right now. Because you really needed the correct part for this, which I don't have. I guess. All right. The goal is to like slot this in over there. Holy moly. It might just compress itself enough. Ugh. Not enough. Gotta remove this a little more. All right. You all see what I'm doing? I'm trying to slot this in there between the hinge pin. Between the suspension arm and the bulkhead. Okay. It's going in. It's going in. It's in there. Now I gotta make sure that it goes through the pin. Dude, this is some serious stuff going on over here. Well, not really, but... Come on, if we can get this hinge pin in, I'm almost home free. Oh man, it's stressing me out, these tolerances over here. Oh, baby. It's in. It's in. I think it's in. It's almost done. Just got to get a little more in there. Oh, yeah, it's in. Oh, yeah, it's going in. The tip. The tip is out. What's up, Joe Hutchinson, man? Happy to see you here. All right. It's in. It's pretty smooth and move freely. A little bit of extra friction there, but it's okay. All right. It's good. You know what we'll do? I'm going to do a little WD-40 on it. Since I'm not using the correct part, I'm going to have to order those parts. All right. Oh, yeah. It's freed up a little bit. 6% freed up. Sickening. Free job. Let me screw the rest of it in a little bit. All right, that's enough. Oh, yeah. It's 7% freer now. What's up, Shane? Nitro in my veins. How you doing? Yeah. I was looking at Jenny's RC, man. I haven't seen a lot of parts in stock for nitros lately. It's not good news at all. It's real bad news. All right. That's all right. It's not too bad. It moves. Let's get the shock back. Well, guys, I think this was a pretty successful overall repair so far. Right? Did a little bit of creative problem solving. What else could you want? Rings, I'm going to look at it later. I might have those parts somewhere else. It's not possible I don't have it. Come on. Do you know how many T-maxxes I have? I have a ton. But, you know, how often am I really replacing arms? But let me check this out. You see that? Now this arm, I'm going to move it laterally side to side. It doesn't move. It's legit solid now. Right? So you need those spacers. Top priority. Probably should have shaved that spacer a little bit. Like with a file. It'll be fine. Donald Truck goes hybrid. Am I a gamer? I appreciate vintage games. In fact, I have like a whole bunch of vintage retro video systems. I have an N64. I'm looking to get a GameCube and a Dreamcast. I also have PS1, PS2 Fat, PS2 Slim, PS3. Don't like PS4, and the old Xbox 360. I'm not too particularly into the new gaming systems. I find it's all very just driven for you to buy stuff through downloads. I'm more into, you know, single player games. Everything today is multiplayer. I don't know. It's not my thing, you know. You want multiplayer, you get a Nitro and you go race an Arma. But it's kind of my opinion. All right, everybody. Let's put the suspension geometry back in. Hey, Wires, he goes PS3 gang. I might even have it somewhere nearby. If you guys want to see, I could show you a PS3. Let me go take a look. Who wants to see a PS3? I mean, I'm not shy. PS3 gang, guys. Check that out. I think this is the 250 gigabyte model. I don't remember. It works pretty good. I will say, what's up, James Simroth? It's very, very slow. It's literally not even usable in modern day. The software is like, the PS3 software is what really, I'm going to say it how it is. It made me try an Xbox. That's the truth right there. What about that right there? PlayStation 1. polygons, baby. Oh, 1541C here with the Cold Vision. I forgot what brand that was. No, that was Cold Vision. That was its own system. It wasn't Vectron, no? Cold Vision? Yeah. PS1, baby. The first real proper CD-based 3D gaming system. Question is, what game, if any, do I have in there? You guys want to take a guess what game I have in there? I'm going to open it up for you. You want me to open it up? I'm going to open it up. Press the the open button. Sickening. Oh, yeah, I remember playing this. Driver 2. The Driver 2 was basically a kind of meant to compete with Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, it was Grand Theft Auto. I do have Gran Turismo 1 and 2. I have Metal Gear Solid. What else do I have? Not the popular James Bond. Anyways, PS1, baby. These are like kind of old now. They have a lot of problems, like the disc reading mechanism. Also, sometimes like the sensors here that monitor the closing of the door, they suck. So good luck getting one of these. They're cheap, but like I'm gonna tell you something. You people that are in the gaming world might already know this. If you want to play PS1 games, try to look for a PlayStation 3 because they're reverse compatible, right? And you could use the onboard memory on a PlayStation 3 to play PS1 games. Here you need memory cards. It's kind of a pain in the ass, you know? Right, guys. R3 goes that PS1 needs a Nitro engine. Yeah, it needs a HDMI converter, actually. I do have that I use. I've done like long ago. I did like game videos on the channel, but I'm not an expert in them, so like clearly those videos suck. You do need like a 1080 HDMI converter for output to an HDMI. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the T-maxx. We had a standing request to fire it up from members of the channel. All right. Yeah. So far doing good. Let me just lower the view a little bit, and this way I'm going to work on it from this position, and I'll get back to it. All right. So what I'm going to do now, just going to install the shocks onto the suspension arm. All right. What's up, vintage Nitro world? Yeah, I would say for N64, Mario Kart has probably stood the test of time and graphics. I think I have Star Fox 64. You know, I'm just gonna say it. It's overrated. It is way, well, for modern graphics, I would say it's gonna give you a headache. Like, good luck playing those polygon games. You're gonna get a headache in like 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to slide these shocks in, put them in, and just shut up already. You know, some people out here probably telling me, Hybrid, just shut up, bro. It's okay, you could do it. It's no big deal. I'm not going to get upset. All right, I'm putting the shock in. Shock screw, rather. So far, this arm, even though it looked different, it looks to be identical. Yeah, Dodger Boy goes, nowadays they all expensive. What are we talking about? Retro video games? I forgot what we're talking about. Yeah, I think there's going to be a runner tomorrow, guys. I'm kind of happy I fixed it. 1541C goes Atari 2600. That's the older vintage 70s systems. Yeah. Well, that was state-of-the-art equipment back then. All right, so shock moves, suspension arm moves, okay. We're going to do the front one. Okay, it's seated. You got to seat your nitros. Kidding around. I think I'm on a lookout for a Sega Dreamcast, to be honest with you, or a GameCube. I saw there was some loving going on for the GameCube, huh? I am on the lookout for a GameCube. I think graphics-wise, it's still playable by modern specs. Oh man, this is... Gotta get this in there. It's almost in there. Come on, screw. Don't screw me yet. This thing not going in. Okay. Okay, it's in. Whoa. The most annoying part is seating these damn screws. Okay, it's definitely in. Good work. Good work, hybrid. Good work. All right. Oh, Joe Hutchinson there with a crazy taxi for the Dreamcast. Yeah, that was their best graphics game yet. I think Crazy Taxi in general, dude, they're expensive. They're not cheap. Even on the used market, the game itself is up there. It's money. You know? I remember going to the store, Sam Ash. Oh, what's up there? Mighty Mike 1996, man. Happy to see you here. Yeah, it's true. You can play a lot of the old games on, like, Wii. I also have a Wii. In fact, I hate it. It's terrible. I never liked that motion stuff video gaming. But at one time, everybody thought they were going to want to move around during video games. But the reality is, you just want to kind of sit on the couch, eat popcorn, you know? Like... That whole moving around for video games died with Al Gore's election. All right, I'm going to put this in now, the lower pivot ball. Got to see how far the pivot ball got to be in. Well, I'll pretty much know. You could adjust the camber later on. But I think you shouldn't see any threads on the bottom when you put the pivot ball in. I think that's how it goes. You shouldn't see any threads. All right, time to get the upper one in there, just to make it match. Uh-oh. Do these not use the same threads? Why is this not going in? That is weird. I might have to drill this hole out. Is it the same? Is it the same size? It appears to be almost the same. Is this from a different model when they had smaller pivot balls? I'm thinking that's what it might be. I'm going to try to force it in. I might have to drill this out. Or maybe it's just fresh. I don't know. No, it's going in. It's going in. It's going in. Success, guys. I was incorrect. Man, that was about to be a mini catastrophe over there. It's going in. It's going in. Crisis averted. It is pretty tight, though. It is pretty tight, like Austin Powers in a movie. Anybody know how many threads is supposed to stick out when this pivot ball is in? Well, I'm going to have to adjust it anyway, so because I don't remember what the stock settings were for the pivot ball. I'm going to leave like one full thread sticking out, I think, and then, you know, I'll have to adjust it based on the camber later on when I assemble it with the wheels. We'll see it, how it sits. All right, left like one thread sticking out. All right, it moves. Benjamin Martinez, bro, I will talk to you later. You have a good night, my dude. All right, time to install. Man, this is taking a long time. This part right there. This is going to, you know, it's not a bad idea. I'm going to add a little grease to this. Yeah, give me a second. Give me a second right there. All right, give me a second, guys. I'm going to put a little grease so when this hits the pivot ball, it's a little nice and loose in there. That's going to be good. That way when this part is against the metal pivot ball, it'll be a little on the loose side. Well, not loose, but it won't have as much friction in the arm. This is a genius move, by the way. It's a genius move. For those of us that might not know, put a little grease on that. Because it's basically plastic with friction, right? On the pivot ball. Hold on, I didn't put it in the right direction. Damn it, I put it in the wrong direction. My bad about that, okay? That's the other direction. It should be the other side. Okay, the grease should be on the rounded side. Dodger Boy, this is track power gear grease. It's pretty good. I found that it's great for pretty much everything. All right. That's much better right there. A little bit of grease on that. Stick that sucker in, and you're golden. Well, I don't know how golden you are, but it's going in. So what I'll do, I'll get the arm kind of centered, level with the chassis. That way there's no extra friction on it. And we'll turn this in until it starts to hit the pivot ball. All right. Make sure it's smooth. You know, go through the range of motion. You're not over tightening that part. And it's not, it's a little tight now. I gotta loosen it. Okay. Much better. Oh yeah. That feels great. Okay, so that's it. This part is basically done. Sickening. Let's go back to the other view and I'll assemble the rest of this right now. It's a good amount of work actually I just did. Oh my god, it's 11 o'clock at night. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fire this up. Alright, so this is done. It moves freely. Shocks are in. We're going to put suspension arm back in. I mean the turnbuckle. It's not called a suspension arm, it's called a turnbuckle. Hey man, Southern Maine RC, how are you, bro? Just out here pulling a late nighter, you know? You know what? That's the wrong screw. How come nobody here told me that's the wrong screw? What screw is that from? This is supposed to be this screw. Correction. Right screw now. All right, we got suspension. We got suspension. Does it move freely? Oh yeah, it moves freely. Shock repair has been successful. 3D printed spacer is perfect. All right, let's get back to assembling the rest of this front suspension stuff going on over here. I still have these parts not assembled fully. The front bumper support. Yeah, it's called the bumper support. It's going in. Yeah, R3 goes wrong screw now. Too late, man. Too late. Just get this one in there. Man, this is a late nighter for me. You know, guys, I'm not out here trying to collect watch hours. I'm doing things that actually matter. Not here to waste people's lives, waste your time, and all in the essence of trying to use you for watch hours. I'm not trying to use nobody here. Trying to repair a T-maxx and hopefully provide some valuable entertainment for the masses. That's all I'm trying to do. Meanwhile, people out there, and you know who they are, trying to use you for watch hours. That's all you are. You're just being used. They don't generally appreciate your viewership. Bunch of users. All right, this is done. Gotta put in the dust rubber boots. And suspension arm. It's kind of annoying to do here actually, but it has to be done. All right, so these don't have to be taken out. You could still access the parts you need to adjust the linkage. All right, guys, I'm going to be here for a little while longer. I'm not trying to waste people's Saturday nights. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put a wheel on and test out, well, I got to actually put both wheels on, I guess. Yeah, the thing is, it's basically repaired. It's basically repaired. Watch hours. Let me tell you something about watch hours. People that say things like, you're just giving me watch hours, are your enemies. They're your enemies. They're not your friends. And they will be your enemy one day. All right. I'm going to put the other wheel on. I'm going to see. No, it looks pretty straight. I'm not even going to adjust it. It's done. It's freaking done. It's done. High five me, everybody. High five, boo. High five. All right, let's put the other wheel on. Damn, I hate having dirty wheels. I'm going to tell you that right now. One thing Nitro Gang don't like, and that's me, is dirty wheels. Don't like dirty people's mouths, and don't like dirty wheels. The Camber looks okay, Curtis Baker. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to show you if you want to see. It looks fine. All right. I'm going to position it in the front. There's just not enough table space here. That's kind of the problem. It's a little tough for me to work with here. Plus, I'm hungry as shit right now. All right. You know what? I did a fantastic job. No weird bump steer. Suspension geometry looks fine. Yep, iFly65 prepping his Traxxas for tomorrow. You're doing the God Nitro job, man. That is the God's Nitro job. Yeah, it's perfect. Suspension repaired. And it's cheap. Well, especially because I had all the parts. One thing I'm going to also have to do is swap out this throttle servo. Throttle servo is not good. The brakes are like literally the world's worst brakes. Also, we'll have to most likely remove this entire brake linkage cam, oil all of it in there, because it seems to be acting up. It's definitely acting up. It's an actor. Yeah, gonna have to remove all of this later on, so probably gonna have to drop the trans. We got any trans droppers in this stream or what? Curtis Baker, thank you, man. Yeah, basically like these for Camber, from my experience, it's like one turn out from no threads being visible on that pivot ball. That's basically what it is. Brian Zakaras, what's up, man? How you doing? Got a question? We'd be happy to answer. Well, if it's like a positive question, Michael Graham, how you doing? Sorry if I didn't see you there earlier in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna be running this tomorrow. This T-maxx pretty solid. I mean, I've had this one for years. It's pretty basic. It's nothing exceptional. I'm not saying it's like the best Nitro out there. It's not the best. It's good. It's okay. And that's fine. I never said it was the best. I never said it was the worst. I just said it gets the job done. And the job is to burn Nitro, be positive, and have a good time. That's the job. So Brian Zacharias, man, I see you have your hand up. I mean, we don't really follow like school rules here, but if you have your hand up, let us know what it is. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is eventually go pick up an 11K OS carb. So this engine has a good amount of compression, but it doesn't. The tune is okay. Thing is, I kind of have to keep it like at high idle all the time. Not because it's bad compression, because it tends to like bog down a lot. That's kind of the situation. Donald Trucker wants to know, is this a 3.3 or 2.5? This particular one is a 3.3. And generally, if you find the T-maxxes, right, with these gray parts and like space between the servo and the trans, this is the extended 3.3 model. They're not really called extended, but generally the 3.3 will always come with the longer chassis and the 3.3, That's pretty much straightforward. Right now, there's only really two T-maxx models available. There's the T-maxx Classic, which you would know because it would have Chevron tires. This one has, pretty much these are not Chevrons, right? I think these are called Talon. The whatever the hell they're called, doesn't matter what they're called. They're not Chevrons. Chevrons would be, like tractor tires. It would be like straight like this. So that would be a 2.5 model. Also, the 2.5 would not have this aluminum dual chamber pipe. So 3.3 is really what you want. It's a fairly competitive truck compared to like other nitros on the market, I would say. In terms of price, parts availability, it has a very good 2-speed that's reliable. It doesn't have reverse. The old models, guys, did have reverse. So you notice this one, I'm not sure if this one had an elimination kit installed, because this is where the OptiDrive sensor would have been at one time. And also this would have been where the OptiDrive lead would have been too, right? But this one might have been an old OptiDrive model, but it might not have been. I'm not totally sure. I don't have a newer 3.3 T-maxx. It's the only one I have. We got a question here from DST James. Are the T-maxx bodies interchangeable? Well, they are, as long as you have the correct wheelbase, meaning 2.5 versus 3.3. Yes, they're interchangeable. You know what I just noticed? I got a pop quiz for you guys. Take a look at this head. Anybody see anything funny going on here? Anybody notice anything funny going on here? What's funny going on in the cooling head? It's not correctly aligned. This is not correctly aligned, which is fine. Normally, these fins should be positioned with the screws. Yeah, it's not correctly aligned. But it runs fine. Like, there's nothing other than the fact that, Dude, you could still get to the holes on the, but it's not that easy. Normally, these fins right here, so your screwdriver could go straight down. Sickening. Well, guys, I was gonna go fire it up, but yeah, even the cap is crooked. I know. Whatever. I use a pulse. I use a an electric. What is it? I use a what am I talking about? Not an electric start. I use. You know what? While I'm at it, let me put some preload on this shock. 3D printed preload. It's very low. I think that's why I damaged it. I jumped and like damaged the front parts. All right, 3D printed shock preload, baby. 3D printed shock preload. Making T-maxx is greater. I think we're gonna add some in the back. Yeah, my rear suspension is a little funny. So these rear shocks are actually the Traxxas heavy-duty shocks. These are the ones with the hard and the rear ones. So one time I got driven over pretty bad. Yeah, I see someone here in the chat just said that these are off. They don't have to match. Like, you know, the amount of preload you have don't have to match. But it is in your best interest to match left to right preload. But they do not have to match, like, you know, on the same side. Well, guys, that's about it. I'm not going to stay here for all night. I got stuff to do as well. The T-maxx is fixed. I'm not out here trying to collect watch hours. I'm out here trying to make Nitros great again and provide good positive entertainment. Not going to go long into all hours of the night so we could have a little pissing contest. It isn't about that. T-maxx has been made great again. Now, I'm not going to go fire it up because like, I have neighbors outside. It's real sickening. I see we have over 100 people here in the stream. It makes me sad to say that it is over. But it is over. I'm going to be here for about 2 more minutes. Yes, I meant easy. Yeah, I meant easy start. My bad, bro. Easy start. We're going to talk about. I'm going to be here for 2 more minutes, guys. I appreciate you being here. Major Nitro Gang weekend. Picked up the Trinity Reflex ENT. Gonna work on this probably tomorrow as well. So 2 minutes. You all have a good night. I'm just gonna take a look at these comments before I also end it myself. RC Deuce, how you doing, bro? Sorry that you're late. Hope you can catch up on some of the stuff that we discussed. You know, if you're interested, that is. No one is forced to stay. I don't force anybody to do anything. I want you all guys to watch out of your own free will, not because you're here to support me, to support yourself. I don't want that, okay? Support Nitros. That's what you support. Joe Hutchinson goes, did I sell the Prius and the Grand Marquis? The answer is yes, they are gone. The Grand Marquis is gone. The Prius is gone. I'm rolling in a Murano right now, okay? But I do have another Prius. Don't think I sold every Prius I got. I sold one. I have another one, all right? I'm a double Prius gang over here, man. It's a 2017 Prius V. It's a nice car. All right? All right, my dudes, that's about it. I'll see you all later. Remember, don't be a jerk to people because people with more than 4 brain cells can tell. They could tell. Now, people with 3 or less brain cells, they cannot tell, okay? But RC Deuce, thank you, man. See you all next time. Have a great Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. Drive safe. Wear your seatbelt. Don't let those cops try to get you.